Sincerely. He wasn't old, not really, but the steps up to the railway bridge felt steeper than they used to. He paused halfway, catching his breath, hand on the cold metal rail. The night air smelled of rain and diesel, and the distant rumble of a late train vibrated through the structure. He used to sprint these steps without thinking. Now he had to psych himself up just to climb them. "Come on," he muttered. "Still got it." He ran the last 10 steps just to prove he could. Halfway across the bridge, his chest tightened, a sharp crushing pain. His breath hitched, the world tilted. He slumped against the railing, gasping, his vision blurred. He fumbled for his phone, hand shaking, and managed to unlock it. The screen swam. He tried to tap 999, but his fingers wouldn't obey. Footsteps approached from the far end of the bridge. 2 lads, hoodies up, laughing about something. He tried to wave, but his arm barely lifted. "Oi," the older man said. "Look what we've got here." The younger lad, barely 17, slowed, concern flickering across his face. "Bruv, he don't look well." The older one crouched beside the man, plucking the phone from his hand. "What you got for us, Grandad?" He rifled through the pockets with practiced ease. Wallet, loose change, old Kindle with headphones still plugged in. "Man's carrying a library," he snorted. The younger lad hovered, uneasy. "Evan, he's proper ill. We should call someone." Evan rolled his eyes, already standing. "Not our problem. We'd have mugged him anyway." He pocketed the phone in the wallet, jerked his head towards the steps, and started walking off. "Come on, you muppet, catch up." Jordan hesitated, torn between fear and conscience. Once Evan was far enough ahead, not looking back, not caring, Jordan leaned down, close enough that only the man on the ground could hear him. "Sorry, yeah, I'll get you help." Then he hurried after Evan, heart hammering. At the bottom of the steps, Jordan muttered something about needing a piss and ducked into the bushes. His hands shook as he pulled out his phone. He whispered, "You need to send an ambulance to the railway bridge on Exeter Road. Old geezer's collapsed." He hung up fast, heart pounding. What if it was traced? Logged? What if Evan found out? He shoved the phone away and jogged to catch up. A few days later, Jordan thought he saw him, across the street, standing by a bus stop, looking perfectly normal. He was glad the man was okay, but hoped he wouldn't recognise him. Jordan blinked, and the man was gone. Evan laughed when Jordan mentioned it. "Man's rattled, you're seeing things." But then Evan saw him too, at the end of an alley, on the opposite platform, reflected in the shop window, always still, always watching. "Must have had a tracker on his phone," Evan muttered. "Does he think he's a hard man trying to spook us?" A week later, Jordan was at Evan's flat, pretending everything was normal. Evan was pacing, agitated, muttering about being followed. Then the lights flickered. A cold wind swept through the room, though the windows were shut, and the man from the bridge stepped out of the hallway, as he'd looked that night, but calm, quiet, watching. Evan lunged at him with a shout. The man didn't move. Evan's fist stopped inches from his face, as if the air had turned solid. Then the man's outline wavered, his edges blurred, his shape thinned, and the wind that had been whispering through the room suddenly rose, swirling around him, through him, as though his body were only a suggestion, a loose sketch held together by will alone. Evan was lifted off his feet, not by hands, but by the force of that howling, spiralling presence. The air itself seemed to grip him, hurling him back with a force that cracked plaster and rattled the windows. Jordan backed into the corner, shaking. The door rattled but wouldn't open. His legs gave way. Warmth spread down his trousers. The wind surged, a rising roar, and Evan's screams were swallowed by it, then cut off, abruptly, terrifyingly clean. The air stilled. The shape of the man reformed, the wind collapsing back into the outline of a person. He turned. Jordan whimpered, hands raised. I'm sorry, bruv. I called an ambulance, I swear." The man stepped closer, his form flickering faintly, as though the wind beneath his skin was still trying to break free. Jordan squeezed his eyes shut. A hand, cold, impossibly cold, touched his shoulder. Apology accepted. Jordan opened his eyes. The man was gone. Just the empty flat, the broken plaster, Evan's body, and the faint smell of rain and diesel.